Thanks for clicking on this Inland Sports video. If you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote here on the Inland Sports Show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. But we are always talking high school football. This guy's one of our favorites. After 19 seasons stepping down at Moreno Valley High School's head coach Ted Wadkins. And Coach, man, when I hear your name, I think Moval Vikings, man. You are synonymous now with Moreno Valley, but nearly 20 years as the head coach at Moreno Valley. What are some of the things that you think you're going to miss the most? I mean, is it just maybe not even on Friday nights? Maybe it's behind the scenes stuff.
No, it'll definitely be Friday night. Behind the scenes stuff, that's the work part of it. So definitely Friday night. The kids, the clowning around with the kids, part of it's a serious part of it, but obviously coaching has a lot to do with relationships with kids and with people, and those things will probably be missed more than anything, is those relationships you build.
Coach, I don't think I've ever asked you this. How did you, rewind 2 decades ago, how did you first end up at Moreno Valley, and did you ever think you'd be there for almost 20 years?
No. And no, it was just kind of a weird situation. I was actually a defensive coordinator at Valley View, and we'd made the finals, played against North in 2001. And then I took a year off, or thought I was taking a year off or so, and John Tyree, who obviously the Banning guy just resigned. We were just talking about him off the air. Mm-hmm. But he was a A.B. Miller, and so he hit me up about coming over there and running his defense. So I did that for a year. And then the Moreno Valley job came open, and it was just kind of funny. I told a bunch of my buddies I was going to apply for it, and they were like, dude, don't do it, man. That's a death sentence for high school football coaching, man. You'll never get another job. Well, they might be right, but so that's kind of how. And I was already working in the Moreno Valley Unified School District, and I was coaching at Valley View. I was the track coach over there still, and so it was just kind of a natural fit to go to Moreno Valley. I did not think I'd be there 20 years. I thought it would be a stepping stone, but I've enjoyed my time there to the point where I just didn't want to leave.
Speaking of enjoying your time, I mean, what do you think made that place special? Obviously, you came back year after year after year. What kept bringing you back?
The kids, to be honest with you, Pep, the program, and I don't want to speak ill of any coaches, in the past, but the program at Moreno Valley hadn't, the next guy I think had 32 wins, and that was Rocky Ford. And he was kind of a legend at Moreno Valley. And, I was funny when I was coaching in Notre Dame, I would go to RCC, would have these breakfasts for the high school coaches back then. And Rocky Ford would get up and, man, he told stories about Moreno Valley High School back in the day at RCC breakfasts that I was like, wow, this school is something else. And, but, he was kind of a legend there. And the fact that, after looking at it, 32 wins in 8 seasons, and it's a tough place to win. And so, when we started winning and started rolling and the kids decided to stay home, that's the biggest thing. Moreno Valley's got a lot of talent. It's just, can you keep them home? Mm-hmm. And, we kept our fair share to the point where we were able to win and be successful and have fun doing it.
Coach, you had the chance to coach your son, Dane. He was a star quarterback for the Vikings, and then he was on your staff as well. What was that experience like for you, being a dad, having Dane around as a player and then as a coach too on your coaching staff?
Bittersweet there. He was a really good quarterback for us. It was just one of those deals where, poor kid through his 4 years had 3 torn ACLs. So, he battled and came back every single year. But and it wasn't the same knee both times. It was different knees. And so he had his issues with that. But the kid loved the game. And then to be able to come back and coach with us and actually take over our offensive coordinator spot the last 3 years, for me as a dad and as a head coach, was extremely special for me to have him tag along and actually get to the point where, he was able to call plays and call games that I was proud of, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, you were telling me off air, and if you don't mind sharing, we talked about 19 years at Moreno Valley. Why step down at this point?
Like I was telling you off the air, it wasn't something I'd had planned. As a matter of fact, we had a team meeting about 2-3 weeks before I'd stepped down, and told the kids, 100% we were coming back. We were all on board. We were going to be a little young, but we were looking forward to the challenge. And then middle of February, my mom up in Washington passed away. And that changed a lot of things for me as far as, my responsibilities up in Washington. And so time-wise, I just don't have the time to be able to continue doing what I love doing.
So I know you're stepping down at Moreno Valley, but maybe at some point in the future, maybe not the near future, but at some point, the doors open a little bit, right, for a Coach Wadkins return at some point to the sidelines?
Yeah, no, I got some stuff I got to take care of, but I'm still young at heart, and it's definitely what I enjoy doing. It's a passion of mine, and so yeah, I definitely see myself getting back into it at some point.
And finally, Coach, taking over the program is one of your former players. I know he was, played at Mo Val. He coached at Mo Val with you. He was recently at Vista Del Lago, but Coach Benitez now taking over the Vikings. Just any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm excited for him. We kind of set it up so that, he would get the job so that we could keep our entire staff together. And, he played for me my first 3-4 years that I was at Mo Val, coached for me for 8 or 9 years, did an outstanding job, went over to Vista Del Lago, ended up beating us a couple times over there. So, hats off to him for doing that over there, kind of created a rivalry between the two schools. And so I'm excited for Benitez, and like I said, it's a good thing because it keeps our staff together for the kids, and I think he'll be successful there as well.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate the time. I got a sneaky suspicion it's not the last time we see you and or your son Dane coaching on the sidelines somewhere. So when you do, please let me know. I want to stay in the loop here.
All right, will do, Pep. Thanks for having me back on here, man. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Always enjoyed having interviews with you, bud.
Listen, I appreciate it too. I mean, I know head football coaches are the busiest guys in the world, but you always made time for me, so I do appreciate that, Coach.
You're welcome, man. Good seeing you, bud.
You got it. That's Ted Wadkins, the head football coach from Moreno Valley, after 19 seasons with the Vikings. Man, what a great run.
Inland Sports.